Time now for the morning rush, and we start with Kristen Curry.
Good morning. We'll start with our next big weather maker. Still looking at the possibility of a few of these very light spot showers here in the metro this morning, but this afternoon, don't even worry about it. A mix of sun and clouds for the majority of the area. We just have an isolated shower possible over the northern mountains. Tomorrow night looks to be a little bit more active with our first big storm on the way, bringing back the rain and the snow. More details on that coming up. Catherine?
County commissioners will soon write up rules under the county's new charter. Voters passed the county's constitution in November. While some were concerned it would give the county too much power, commissioners say the move actually allows them to better respond to residents. They'll no longer have to go through the state to get permission to make changes. Commissioners say that will make a big difference, especially when it comes to nuisance properties, declaring disasters, and spending taxpayer dollars. Adam?
A number of bills are set to be introduced on the House and Senate floor at the Roundhouse today. One of the biggest issues the state wants to address in the next 60 days is child abuse. The governor is urging again a three-strikes bill that would keep violent offenders locked up. The governor once again called to reinstate the death penalty for those that kill a child, law enforcement officer, or a corrections officer. Right now, the governor is making plans to push for even tougher DWI laws this session. Parents of 19-year-old Jacob Salazar, who was killed by a drunk driver a year ago, joined the governor in Santa Fe for her State of the State address. She touted the state's lowest DWI rates in decades, but vowed to keep fighting against DWI. She wants people to be punished if they allow convicted DWI offenders to drive their cars, and tougher sentences for repeat offenders. A Texas community is mourning an officer this morning shot and killed during a standoff. Investigators say Detective Jerry Walker died in Little Elm yesterday. When Walker and other detectives tried to enter the home, the suspect opened fire, shooting Walker. He later died from his injuries. Hours later, the suspect was found dead. The cause of his death is still unclear this morning. Senate confirmation hearings continue today for more of President-elect Donald Trump's controversial cabinet nominees. Among them, Commerce Secretary Pick and billionaire Wilbur Ross, and Health and Human Services nominee Tom Price. Trump returns to D.C. later today after holding a pre-inaugural dinner there last night. The man accused of murdering his pregnant ex-girlfriend last month and then killing an Orlando police officer earlier last week is waking up in police custody. A heavily armed Markeith Lloyd was arrested yesterday, hiding in an abandoned Florida home. The 41-year-old faces 2 counts of murder as well as an attempted murder charge. New overnight, former President George H.W. Bush is starting the day in the hospital after becoming ill. 41st president was admitted to Houston Methodist Hospital, but Bush's chief of staff did not specify an exact reason why the 92-year-old former president was hospitalized. In 2015, Bush was taken to the hospital in Maine after falling at his summer home and breaking a bone in his neck. We're waiting to learn more information from police this morning about a deadly stabbing in southeast Albuquerque. That happened about 6:30 last night at Wyoming and Central. APD says a man with stab wounds was taken to a nearby hospital but later died. Federal agents will likely continue working to build their case today against the man who they say set fire to an Albuquerque Old Navy store in late November. Albuquerque police arrested 28-year-old David Hickman after he was allegedly seen leaving the Old Navy just before it erupted in flames. In his car, police say they found an AR-15 rifle, a flare, and mason jars full of explosives. Kristen?
Today's Metro Threat Index at a 3, looking at cold temperatures this morning. Breezy at times this afternoon. We could see a little bit of some light rain and snow this morning. It won't be anything really significant. We'll actually welcome the moisture if we can get some, but none of that expected this afternoon. Adam?
All right, if you're flying out of the Sunport this morning, it's now easier than ever to take a little bit of New Mexico home with you. The state tourism department is partnering with Avila Retail to sell 100% New Mexico-made products at the Albuquerque Sunport. Products from places like New Mexico Pinon Coffee, Los Poblanos, and Senior Murphy's chocolates will be sold at 3 Avila-owned stores around the airport. And happening right now, Samsung's vice chairman is in court facing a South Korean judge who will decide whether to issue a warrant for his arrest. J.Y. Lee is accused of bribery, embezzlement, and perjury in the corruption scandal that led Parliament to impeach the president. Today's hearing is expected to go on for hours. Lee, though, denies any wrongdoing. People living in central Italy are likely still shaken up this morning, to say the least, after 3 strong earthquakes today. The first quake in 3 Italian cities, including Rome. 2 more earthquakes took place shortly after. The first earthquake was a magnitude 5.3. The second was 5.4. Some Rome metro stations were evacuated as a precaution after all that.
Let's get a check on your Wednesday morning commute. We do have one incident out there now. That's at Chelwood Park at Copper, so do keep in mind that's where you're going to run into some trouble. Also, Paseo eastbound from Jefferson, almost all the way to Tramway, down to about 10 to 15 miles this morning.
Deutsche Bank is preparing to pay $7.2 billion in a settlement with the U.S. government over the sale of mortgage-backed securities before the 2008 financial crisis. Under this settlement, $4.1 billion will be used to give relief to underwater homeowners and distressed borrowers. It's the highest federal penalty paid so far in the sale of shoddy mortgage securities. It may soon be a little easier to figure out the real cost, exactly what you're paying for a plane ticket. The Department of Transportation wants to require airlines to show clearly how much it costs to check a bag or bring on a carry-on when providing airfare information to customers. The DOT is also looking for public comment about whether airlines should be required to disclose the change and cancellation fees. The world's oldest giant panda in captivity is celebrating her 37th birthday today.
That's not it.
Not there. Bozzy is seen having a party with cake and candles to celebrate. Her age is equivalent to over 100 human years.
Wow.
Bozzy remains in good health, though, with a team from local Panda Research and Exchange Center giving her around-the-clock care.
Oh, she's got a little crown and everything.
They got a tiny version of her, too.
Happy birthday, Bozzy. Time now for the 5 facts. We start with number 5. A lot of people are talking about a music video created by 2 Albuquerque friends. RJ Trujillo and Matthew Higgins say they were fed up with negative stereotypes, so they rapped about places nostalgic to them, like Del Norte High School, UNM, and other spots. If you'd like to see the video, just go to KRQE.com, but a quick warning, there are some profanities.
Number 4 this morning, UNM students might want to give themselves a little extra time to get to class this morning. Sky News 13, we'll show you the video here in a second, shows some UNM buses held up in all that ART construction on the way to campus yesterday morning. There's the buses. UNM and the city spokesperson for ART both advise students to get out the door early.
At number 3, a little bit of light rain and snow hugging the metro area this morning, but a mix of sun and clouds this afternoon. Warmer today with breezy to windy conditions up over the northeast and spot showers over the mountains possible.
Number 2 this morning, New Mexico ranks near the bottom of a new list when it comes to child well-being. In its annual Kids Count report, the New Mexico Voices for Children ranked the state 49th. That report shows 29% of kids live in poverty. That's the second worst percentage in the nation. There is some good news, though. Fewer babies were born at low birth weights, and more kids now have health insurance. Number 1, lawmakers get back to work in the Roundhouse this morning, and over the next 2 months, they'll be deciding which local governments get money for projects. Among the items on the city of Albuquerque's so-called wish list, nearly 3 dozen capital projects, including constructing a more inviting, pleasant underpass at Central Avenue under the tracks. Also phase 2 of the regional sportsplex and building a new fire station. But these projects could cost millions. It's something the state doesn't have. Councilor Isaac Benton says the list is too long and councilors will have to start looking at other ways to fund projects. We'll follow all of that on the KRQE News app.